Hey everyone, for market minutes today, we're going to look at MLTX. And like I like to do, I like to always look at the latest earnings, the current company valuation, and then other elements to consider. Um, this one is a biotech company. So naturally, the other elements to consider that I usually do last are going to matter the most here. But the valuation and the latest earnings still do matter, but maybe not as much as you would expect in another company. So this is their latest earnings. Looks like they had some positive results from a clinical trial. And I want to go look at their cash burn here. It should have been, and it should be here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Usually the X99.1 is their latest earnings, but I must be missing something here. Yep. Well, yeah, I guess this is the 8K. Well, this will be a little dated, so I don't like that, but I could look at this earnings right here. Yeah, this is what it should be looking like. All right, let's go straight to the financial statements, which they have at the very bottom. That's interesting. Now, look how far down I have to go to find this. That's weird. It's usually the first thing listed, but okay, so this is as of December 2025. So just keep that in mind. And they do have their balance sheet first. It's in thousands, as they should, because the balance sheet does matter more with these biotech companies. Because usually they're not making money and you want to see how much cash burn they have. So they got a lot of cash, and they have a lot of marketable securities too, which can be converted to cash if needed. So that's not bad. Some prepaid expenses. And then they got some of their current assets here too. So that's not bad. Let's look at their debt here. Long-term debt is 74 million, which isn't bad. Okay, so far, if you take away this debt, you're sitting at about a 350 million cash position. That's okay. Check and see if there's anything else that they have hidden here that I'm not seeing. And no, there's not. So, okay, pretty solid cash position. Until you look at this. Because if you got 350 million in cash, you're doing great. But then when I'm seeing right here, that they, and this is in a total year, but when I'm seeing that they burned 250 million, I'm saying right now this company has about a year and a half, year and a third of cash runway before they run out. Because this is giving me an annual statement, not a quarterly. So, it could be worse, but that's just noted, that they got about a year and a half of cash runway. Not terrible, not great either. Cool. Current loss. Then here's their losses for sure. So, okay. So that's good to know. So now it really is all about, everything's all about the other elements, which is their clinical trial stuff. So, let me see. Why is MLTX? I bet it'll tell us all about that. Bullish house hitting at once, not a single headline. Okay. Raise their price target to 70. and it's at 17 bucks right now. I mean, you look at that like, oh, that's like a 8x. On most of these biotech companies, they're going to have these crazy price targets. So you're going to see that everywhere. New clinical pipeline momentum, positive drug trial progress, lead drug Sonelokimab, spine-related condition. Okay, so they got two things going on. This, and then they had a trial win for whatever happened here. I wonder what the trial was about. Okay. Investor Day updates, which is where they get a bunch of people they give all their charts, and analysts give their price predictions and that sort of stuff. This is important. So clinical readouts in 2026. This is scary though. It's playing these clinical readouts are tricky because sometimes it's a sell the news event, sometimes it's a flop, and then a $17 stock turns into a $5 stock in one day. So I don't always love playing these, but it also can be a big catalyst because this guy, it's at 17 bucks now, but in September it was at 62 bucks, and in basically one day it went to 8 bucks. So that's scary. Not any additional trials de-risk approval significantly. That would be big if true. Buyout, this is for every stock. They're always saying that stuff. There might actually be something. Excuse my ignorance, but chatter about Big Pharma and Merck would do it. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Biotech setup. This is big. Small market cap can be moved by lots of volume. And then mainly analyst upgrades then is what's doing it. Let's ask it this. What caused the drop in MLTX stock in September? Yeah. Disappointing drug trial. This guy. Okay. So their phase 3 failed. Approval was uncertain, and then yeah, they immediately downgraded it. Okay, so then tell me this. When is the next time this word is eligible for another phase 3 trial? So it looks like there's more upside potential than downside. That's always risky saying that because okay, may not have to file for approval. Okay. So second half of 2026 is the new timeline. The phase 3 trials are happening now, but in other diseases, arthritis. Okay, so this is what I was saying at the beginning, where there are things that could push this up. Yeah. So it didn't reset the clock completely. Okay, that's interesting. My biggest takeaway at the end here of this guy, and let's just go look at the chart real quick. I mean, one thing's clear. You could have, your entry could have been worse than right now. Um, and there are some catalysts for me. The biotech trades, um, I put a lot of weight on cash runway. Um, a lot, because a lot of the biotechs, it's, in my opinion, it's really a coin flip on, okay, is there going to be some sort of positive trial result or whatever. So it's hard for me to make predictions, because for all I know, in 3 months, their Sonelokimab main drug gets its trial approval and this thing moons to $70. And I hope that, if you're in this, I hope that happens. I want it to happen. Um, it's so tough to be in a stock and to see it grind down and be bearish. I want you guys to be successful. So I'm not being bearish on this at all. I'm just saying, I don't know how to predict that, if it's going to work or not. So I put a lot of weight on cash runway, and, a year and a half of a cash runway isn't bad. It's not bad. It's, if, let's say that their trial works and they go commercial pretty quickly, you're getting to the point where, the dilution potential doesn't really mean anything if their drug gets passed and they're good to go. So I'm actually going to put no opinion on this. I think it's interesting, and I think that, I don't think it's the worst buy. I don't think it's a terrible buy. I don't know that it's an amazing buy either. But I think it's interesting, and I think that at least it doesn't seem like it's a crap company. It seems like they have a lot of money still for the rest of this year and then some. And they got their main drug that's going through a few trials and a few tests for different diseases. And so, there's some things here. So yeah, there's MLTX.